Ladies and gentlemen, your number one source for the latest breaking news, rumors, and explosive moments from the world of professional wrestling. Today, we've got an absolutely shocking story that has the entire wrestling community talking. A massive backstage brawl has reportedly erupted between Ricky Saints and Trick Williams, and insiders say it got way more real than anyone expected. According to multiple backstage reports, tensions between Ricky Saints and Trick Williams had been simmering for weeks. Both men have been climbing the ranks of the wrestling world, each claiming to be the next breakout star. But what started as a simple rivalry of pride in performance took a violent turn after last night's event. Sources say that following an intense promo segment on live TV, the two stars exchanged heated words backstage. What was supposed to be just another night in the locker room quickly turned into an all-out brawl. Eyewitnesses claim that Ricky Saints threw the first punch after Trick Williams made a comment about his recent loss, and from there, chaos unfolded. According to one insider, the fight wasn't part of the show. This wasn't scripted, the source said. Cameras weren't rolling, producers were shouting, and security had to rush in to separate them. Several staff members reportedly suffered minor injuries trying to break the two men apart. One fan-recorded clip from a nearby corridor even surfaced online, though quickly deleted, showing what appeared to be Trick Williams being restrained while yelling, "You started it, Saints. You can't handle the spotlight." If the footage is real, this could be one of the most intense backstage altercations in recent wrestling history. To understand how things escalated to this level, we need to look back at the past few months. Ricky Saints, known for his confident and sometimes arrogant personality, had been gaining momentum with impressive victories and viral promos. Meanwhile, Trick Williams, a fan favorite with charisma and raw energy, was positioned as the rising face of the company's next generation. But behind the scenes, reports suggest that Saints had grown frustrated with the amount of attention Williams was getting. Ricky felt overshadowed, said another insider. He believed he was the better performer, but Trick was getting all the hype, the sponsorships, and the main event spots. This tension boiled over when Saints allegedly confronted Williams about stealing his spotlight, and according to multiple sources, Williams fired back, calling Saints a wannabe superstar living in his own promo. The internet exploded within minutes of the news breaking. Hashtags like #Ricky vs Trick, #Locker Room Fight, and #Saints Meltdown began trending on X, formerly Twitter. Fans on Reddit and TikTok flooded the comments sections with theories, memes, and heated debates. Some fans sided with Ricky Saints, arguing that he's being disrespected and underutilized by management. Others defended Trick Williams, praising his professionalism and suggesting that Saints has been jealous for months. One viral post read, "Greater than, if this is real, Ricky Saints just buried his own career. Trick Williams is too valuable for the company to risk losing him over a fight." Another user posted, "Greater than, they should settle this in the ring, pay-per-view main event, no disqualifications." Veteran wrestlers and analysts have also weighed in. Former champion Marcus Steele commented during a podcast, "Greater than, this kind of thing happens when egos clash and emotions run wild. Ricky and Trick are both young, hungry, and talented, but when pride takes over, professionalism goes out the window." He added, "Greater than, if the company plays it right, they could turn this real-life heat into the biggest storyline of the year." Some experts believe management might actually capitalize on the situation, blending reality with fiction, something wrestling promotions have done successfully in the past. But others fear it could lead to suspensions or even terminations if the altercation violated company policy. As of now, the wrestling promotion has released a short statement. "Greater than, we are aware of the incident involving Ricky Saints and Trick Williams following last night's event. Both individuals are currently under review. The company does not tolerate physical altercations backstage and will take appropriate action." Neither wrestler has made a public statement yet, though fans are watching their social media accounts closely. Saints' last post on Instagram, a photo of him captioned, "Still the main event," has been flooded with thousands of comments, many demanding an explanation. Some wrestling fans aren't convinced the fight was real. They argue it could all be part of a larger storyline leading into a major pay-per-view match. After all, professional wrestling has a long history of blurring the lines between reality and entertainment. A few clues fuel this theory. The timing, just weeks before a major live event. The presence of conveniently placed cameras nearby. And the fact that both wrestlers have been teasing unresolved issues in interviews lately. If it is a work, then it might be one of the most genius marketing tactics of the year. But if it's real, the consequences could be severe. Several fellow wrestlers have indirectly commented on the situation. One anonymous source said, "Greater than, everyone saw it coming. The tension backstage was obvious. You could feel it in the air." Another performer joked on social media, "Greater than, guess we know who's not sharing a locker room anymore." Despite the humor, most wrestlers seem concerned that this might divide the locker room, especially if management decides to take sides. So what's next for Ricky Saints and Trick Williams? The company might suspend both men temporarily to cool things down. This would send a message that no one is above the rules. They could turn the real fight into an official rivalry on TV. This would generate huge ratings and fan engagement. If the fight caused property damage or injuries, one of them might face termination. That could open doors for other promotions to swoop in. In some cases, wrestlers work through their differences privately, then publicly shake hands to move forward. At this stage, no outcome has been confirmed, but the wrestling world is watching closely. Fans have already begun fantasy booking how this could play out in the ring. One popular idea circulating online is a locker room retribution match, a no-holds-barred showdown between the two stars at the next pay-per-view event. Others believe Saints might form an alliance with another heel wrestler to ambush Williams during an upcoming episode, reigniting the feud in dramatic fashion. Regardless of what happens, this situation has injected a huge dose of unpredictability into the wrestling world, and fans can't stop talking about it. At the end of the day, whether real or scripted, the Ricky Saints vs. Trick Williams saga has become one of the most talked about stories in recent wrestling history. It highlights the fine line between performance and personal conflict, and how quickly things can spiral when egos collide. If managed correctly, this incident could elevate both stars to new levels of fame. But if it goes wrong, it could just as easily end careers. One thing's for sure, the wrestling world thrives on drama, and this latest brawl has given fans more than enough to talk about.